more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to. Your infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever we choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever we choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough, more than enough, more than enough.
Welcome to Unity Comox Valley. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of this spiritual community. We know, don't we, that spiritual community is much more than a location or a time or a place. It's really an experience of connection. And right now we are being called to create and find more and more ways to have that connection experience. One of the most powerful tools we have for connection is prayer. So would you join me, please? Let's take a deep breath wherever you are, in the comfort of your living room with perhaps a cup of tea or coffee. And take a breath that helps us center and be still. We know that this place within us is a beautiful, powerful place, an oasis of peace, of love, of harmony. And as we experience this place, it is also where we truly are one. And where we can draw from all the spiritual resources that we have, all the gifts of spirit that lie within us. Prosperity, abundance, faith, strength, all good things. We are grateful for knowing about this inner peaceful place that we can access at any time in any circumstance. So in that state of gratitude, we say thank you, and amen. You notice we're doing an outside service today. So you may hear the wind and other sounds in the environment. I'd like to share something that used to happen every Sunday morning. There's a group of people who came in early to help set up the sacred space. And we knew that what we were doing was creating an environment that people were going to be coming into soon. And we wanted to do that with purpose and with intention. And so what we would do is we would gather in a circle and we would each say a word or two into just out loud, a word that we wanted to put more energy behind and into the environment. So words like joy or peace or laughter or prosperity and things like that. So I'm going to invite you to do that right now. Think of a word that you would love to give more life to, more expression to. Either say it to yourself or say it out loud. Thank you. We know that as we speak the word, it finds a home within us, and not only within us, but it resonates out into our environment and blesses everyone and everything. So thank you for your contribution to the goodness, to contributing to the goodness in our community and around the world. So relax, get comfortable, and please enjoy our next song, which is Open Your Heart to Love. Today is week 2 in our series called Spiritual Awakening Through Life's Changes. And we are certainly going through some changes right now, aren't we? So let's see about the spiritual awakening. That's what I'm curious about. Last week I spoke about change and in general, that change is inevitable, that we are experiencing change all the time, that it is part of life, it is a part of creation, it is a part of being healthy. There's always something that needs to be let go of before something new can come in. It's the way that we thrive, really, is through change. And we talked about good change and not so good change. And the good change being the ones that we choose, the ones that we decide on, the ones that we have control over, where we get to say when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, where it's going to happen. And then we talked about the kind of change that, we're not so keen on, the ones that are thrust upon us, the ones that we have no control over and no say in. And right now we are in the middle of one of these big global changes that we are pretty much unprepared for. So it's important when we're going through change to explore the process of change and also to understand the phases of change. Because every change, planned or not, is an opportunity for spiritual transformation, and we don't want to miss out on that. All change begins with endings. Now, endings are something perhaps we're not that keen on. Often we avoid them or minimize them or try to get through them really quickly, things like that. I know, my mom used to come up and visit our family once or twice a year, and we'd have a wonderful, wonderful time. And then, of course, it was time to end our visit. And we used to drive her to the airport, and she'd practically leap out of the car with her suitcase before we'd even stopped at the curb and just wave bye and take off. That sense of ending and loss already was hitting her, and she just wanted to get through it as fast as she could. We need to honor our endings, because honestly, if you think back and remember of all the hundreds of endings that you have experienced, large or small, we have benefited from them. We have grown through them. They had a gift for us. We have all learned that an ending is never a final step, but always a doorway to something else. When something appears to end, the bud of the beginning, the new beginning is already present. I watched a program last week about a young man who has an organic fruit farm in Florida. And he was taking us through the orchards. I think it was like 25 acres of all kinds of beautiful trees and fruits, many I've never heard of before. But he came to this one tree and he pointed it out to us because he said, on this tree is 3 years of fruit. So he showed us the first, this year's fruit, which was, this round ball, completely smooth and light brown, I have no indication of what was inside, and I can't remember the name of the fruit. That was this year's crop. Then a smaller ball, which would be next year's fruit. And then he showed us, down the branch, a little teeny nubbin of what was going to be the third year's fruit. It was all there on the one plant. The oak tree lies within the acorn. It's all here for us. So like the song that we just sang, why would we worry? Why would we doubt? Why would we ever think we'd go without? Right now we are experiencing a big ending. We are not living the lives that we lived 2 months ago, and I'm sure you can think of many, many ways that our lives have been significantly altered. We can't go grocery shopping the way we used to do. We can't gather the way we used to. We can't travel to see friends and family. Lots of things that we took for granted. So we can react to this change in many ways. Are we fighting with it? Are we arguing about it? Are we wishing it was over? Or are we willing to entertain the possibility that something new and better might emerge? That something is already lying in potential for the right time to become visible. Last week I started talking about the 3 phases of change. And the first one is an ending. And then comes the in-between time. And then comes the new beginning. And one of the most profound illustrations of these 3 phases lies in the Moses story. Every 3 years when I was at Unity of Victoria, I would offer a 9-week course on just one small part of the Moses story. It is so rich. It is so has so much meaning for us in our own lives today. These stories in the Old Testament, like Noah and the Ark and the creation story, are metaphors for life, for our lives. And within them are aspects of ourselves, so they are a great tool for self-discovery. Part of the Moses story that corresponds to what we are living through right now is when Moses goes to Egypt and frees the Jews who have been enslaved for generations, hundreds and hundreds of years. And they head out to the desert, a confused, unprepared people, not knowing where they were going, how long it was going to take, and where they were going to end up. Does that sound familiar? This is what we are living through right now. It's unknown territory. Life has never been like this before. We don't know how long this is going to take, what more changes are coming down the road toward us, where we are going to end up. The people that followed Moses represent our thoughts of uncertainty, of fear, and of loss. And Moses represents our higher self, the enlightened leader who trusts God to lead, to guide him and to bring the people to the promised land. Moses is the one who listens to his inner knowing and leads with confidence and surety. His people are constantly badgering him with questions. How long is this going to take? What will we eat? What will we drink? How will we survive in the desert? I want to go back. I miss my old life. Perhaps some of these same thoughts have crossed your mind in the last couple of months. That's okay, as long as we remember that we also have a Moses. In addition to these thoughts, we also have a Moses, a powerful leader who is spiritually grounded. Listen to that voice and let our enlightened, awakened consciousness lead the way. Because in the end, the people do arrive in the promised land. Let's pay attention to what is transpiring inside us so that we can awaken to this unique time. Be open to the possibility that you are living in a time of radical transformation and spiritual awakening. We'll pick up this story next time when Moses and the people are wandering in the desert, in the wilderness for 40 years. Let's prepare now for our time of prayer and contemplation. We'll be listening to the song or singing along with the song, I'm Letting Go. As we begin this time of prayer and contemplation, I invite you to take a few moments to relax and center yourself. Perhaps taking a few deep breaths or closing your eyes helps you do this. I invite you to loosen the thoughts and beliefs that have kept you in bondage, that have held you back. Lift yourself above the limitations of your life. Hold to the realization that you are an expression of spirit that transcends all things. You are freer than you think. The following meditation is based on a healing treatment based on the Lord's Prayer, written in the 1930s by Georgina Tree West, a Unity minister. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Spirit Almighty, quickening and animating my whole being, perfect be the revelation of thy Spirit in me. All my cells are absorbing energy, health, strength, and new vitality from the power that dwells within me. Healing life flows through every cell, cleansing, purifying, and making me whole and well. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Let the harmonizing power of divine love adjust all things perfectly as I move throughout this divinely ordered day. Let me feel the peace of thy presence within me and all around me. Let me walk in the light of spirit which thou hast given me. Let thy good and gracious will be done. Let every problem be solved through the loving wisdom of mind working in and through all the good of all. Give us this day our daily bread. May I partake freely this day of the bread of life, the spiritual understanding that nourishes the soul. I give thanks that there is ample provision for every need of soul and body. Let me speak with the tongues of men, of women, and of angels, with worldly wisdom and spiritual understanding throughout this soul-satisfying day.
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Let forgiving love free me from all unhappy memories of the past. Calm the turbulence of my thoughts. Enable me to see through the problems of personality and make me a radiating center of love that shines forth to bless with understanding, compassion, tolerance, friendliness, kindness, and loving helpfulness. leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. Free me from the temptations of negative thinking. Let thy presence within me guide me in monitoring my thoughts and words. I fear no evil as I let the Spirit thou hast given me guide and protect me, and call to my remembrance that thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. And so it is. Amen.
No more fighting, hearts uniting, all one people, all one dream. Hate is dying, love is rising on a world awakening. Children of one God, one planet, let the earth and heaven sing. Join the angels, joyous strains, all for a world awakening. For a world awakening. For a world awakening. One day all the world is watching. Time weaves us a common theme. Peace our anthem, all are welcome to a world awakening. To a world awakening. To a world awakening.
Every week, I'd like to reserve this space for a message from you. It could be something like a thought for the day, or just a message that you'd like to share with your spiritual community. So if you have something like that, please email at info@Unity Comox Valley so that I can receive them and share them next Sunday. Let's take time now to bless the gifts that we have given and received. Each one of us has experienced many blessings this past week. It could be a smile, a phone call, an email from a friend. So let's just bring those to mind for a moment and give thanks for them. See how we are connected, how others are thinking of us as well as us thinking of them. For those of you who have sent a donation to Unity Comox Valley, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let's take a moment to stay in that flow of circulation, of good, of receiving and giving. And if you would join me, please, in our love offering affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Once more. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. I'd like to remind you that there are 4 touch points during the week, ways that you can stay connected with your spiritual family. There are Sunday services, something like this, on the website every week. The previous Sundays are also on there, so you can view them at any time. You can watch them more than once if you like. Just look for them under the tab of Watch. Also, we have meditations that are on our website every Wednesday. Every week it's a new meditation, and the previous ones are also there behind the tab called Listen. So tune in to those things. And, many of you have shared our website with your friends, and they have also been listening to the Sunday services and the meditations and have really appreciated and been blessed by the message we have to share. So think about that. Who might benefit from our perspective and the way that we live our spiritual principles? Another way is that we keep in touch with you is through our newsletters. We have 2 of them a week on Mondays and Fridays. So stay tuned for those. They're full of information as well as inspiration. Next Sunday is Mother's Day. And if you've read the newsletter, you'll see that I've already extended the invitation for you to send a photo of your mom. We would love to include their faces, their images with us next Sunday as we celebrate Mother's Day. You can send a photo at info@unitycomoxvalley.com. If you're not sure how to do that, if you don't have digital photos, which most of us don't of our mothers, please, again, send me an email at info@unitycomoxvalley.com, and I'll help walk you through that process. So keep in touch. Phone us, send us an email. The board and I are committed to serving you through these, challenging times. We appreciate your feedback, and we act on it. So I invite you now to imagine that we are moving into our closing circle, and that we are starting to form the circle that we used to do at the end of our services, that you are probably remembering the smiling faces that you would catch a glimpse of across the circle. And as you imagine that, let's have our closing prayer. We know that prayer links us heart to heart and soul to soul. We know that the symbol of a circle reminds us of our connection, of the lives that we share, of the experiences that we share on this spiritual journey. So I invite you now to bring to mind any person or any situation that you would like to have included in this sacred time of oneness. We know that any time during the week or during the day that our thoughts wander into anxiety or concern, that we can always turn them back to the one presence, the one power, the one activity in our lives and in all the universe. And we do so with peace, with joy, with expectation. And so for this time together, for this sacred time together, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. The divine in me greets the divine in you.
let there be peace.